I try to wipe it up.
Or like, he leaves his shoes on the floor. All those things, it's cute at first, and then it starts to wear on you. But it's like if you continue to pursue each other and keep the romance alive, those little things just aren't a big deal. Still.
We're gonna make out tonight. I can feel it.
And we're gonna use the Ultimate Intimacy app tonight.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Give me a chance. Yeah, baby, try. Just one more night, then make up your mind.
Hey guys, welcome to the Christian and Tiffany channel. We're so glad that you decided to drop in. Today we're going to be talking about 5 signs you might need marriage counseling. And so we're going to jump into that. It's a good topic. We've experienced it and we'll get into it.
Now this is the 4th video in our 4-part series on conflict in marriage. And though we've been focusing mostly on marriage, really if you go back and watch these, you can see that a lot of these tips and ideas and all that stuff can really apply to any relationship. So today we're specifically talking about marriage, but again, if you have another relationship where you're having conflict, you can still do counseling or therapy or coaching, or there's so many other things that you can do just to involve a third party into your relationship to help you work through some things. So,
True that.
5 signs that you might need some relationship help, okay? Sign number 1 is you disagree on big things, like a big thing. For example, how you're gonna raise your kids. If you both disagree very differently, and when dad's home, it's this set of rules, when mom's home, it's this set of rules, when they're both home, it's an all-out fight, you might need to bring in a third party to help you guys come to a common ground.
Absolutely. Step 2, you're not talking anymore. And that can be a really tough one. And you know what I mean? I'm not talking like, it's not like, hi, or, work was like this. You're just venting, but you're not actually talking anymore. You're just, it's a quick hi bye. It's
what's for dinner?
Yeah.
Who's picking up the kids? It's not like, how was your day? Oh, I gotta tell you about what happened. You're not sharing your heart with each other. If you feel like you're just roommates, you're not really like friends anymore.
That's no way.
You might want to bring somebody in to help you grow your relationship, maybe work through some things that are kind of a barrier that's keeping you from communicating. And sometimes you know why you're not talking, you're just mad.
Yeah.
And there's some serious unresolved stuff, and so you're just giving each other the silent treatment. Guys, it's not good. So if you can't work it out and resolve it together, get help. Yeah. And listen, like it doesn't mean like, I'm about to get divorced. It doesn't have to be that extent of a conflict, right? It can just be, we're struggling, we're not seeing eye to eye, and you just need somebody to come in and help you.
We have a basic philosophy that divorce isn't an option and neither is misery. Neither one of those are options.
Yes, so true. Yeah. And so we've done many things. Like we've done counseling through our church.
Shout out to Mickey. Thanks, bud.
We've done coaching with some friends. But I think one of our favorite things is just having dinner with a couple that we love, that we trust, that we know loves us both equally, and just saying, hey, we're working through this thing. We're having a hard time. What do y'all think? And it really makes a difference when you open up your lives and your relationship to somebody else that can help bring clarity.
Yeah, absolutely. It does. But it should be mutually beneficial. It should be, that relationship should be somebody that y'all both agree on. That is that person that you both can listen to. So dudes, if that dude's saying something to you that you're not down with, you still respect him enough to be like, okay, maybe I don't see that, but if you're seeing that, then it's there. Or they give you advice and you're willing to listen to it. Don't go to a relationship or to a couple that just throws down some advice, but you're not willing to actively engage or listen or be reprimanded, because sometimes it is our fault and we just don't see it, right? Like if I got a spot on my forehead right now, I can't tell you what it looks like, but each and every one of you guys can tell me exactly what it looks like. I should have done a spot on my forehead, but anyways,
like, anybody notice this?
Yeah, but I didn't. We just call it my big nose. We just call it.
Oh, honey, I love your nose. It's very masculine.
Oh, masculine nose. I'll take it. All right, me and you talkers, we're in.
Okay, so find somebody that you guys both trust equally. You don't want to go to a one-sided person where one of you is going to feel like you're not really being heard. Okay, so 3. Yes. The 3rd sign is your best days don't involve your spouse. If you're planning like the best day, you're planning the best vacation, you're planning like, oh man, I want to go out tonight and I want to have fun, and it does not include your spouse, you might need to work on your relationship.
Yeah. And we're talking like, not the girls' night out. That's not what we're talking about.
Right.
Because girls need that. Guys need their dude night out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we need to go shoot something or, play video games.
But like you find out that one of your favorite artists is coming into town and they're doing a concert, and you think, oh, I gotta call my girlfriends. And it doesn't ever cross your mind that your husband loves that band too, and maybe he'd want to come because you don't want to go to a concert with your husband? That's not, like ultimately when it comes to your marriage, your husband, your wife, y'all should be best friends.
Yep.
and you should want to hang out together. You should be planning and thinking, oh, let's do this together. Oh man, I can't believe he's not here. I wish he was here. Those kinds of things. If that's not happening in your inner dialogue or in the physical planning of your schedule, you need to work on your relationship.
Yeah. I mean, think back to when you were dating, right? It's like, man, there's like 1,000 texts a day. You're like waiting for the moment you get off, and they're, so that you can go see them or find a way to see them, or they're at work and you're, going to go an hour out of your way to accidentally drop by.
You did that. It was super sweet.
You know what I mean? And so it's that desire, that longing, that doesn't go away because you're married. It shouldn't go away because you're married. And it should get stronger and stronger and stronger as we're going into our 15th year. I think 40 is going to be the best years of our life. I really do. I think it's going to be amazing, and it just gets better. And you've got to. It takes work though.
It does.
It takes work and intentionality.
And it takes planning date nights and planning specific times where you can continue to get. Because here's the thing: we're always growing.
Yeah.
And we're always changing as we go through life. And so if we're not learning our spouse and growing along with them, then you're missing out. So you've got to keep connecting and keep growing together. So.
Yeah, that's good.
That's 3. Okay, sign number 4.
No sex. You're not having sex anymore. I can't tell you how many people I've met over the past year, especially a lot of nurses, that say, they haven't had sex with their spouse in a year. That's not healthy at all, right? You're just cohabitating at that point.
Yeah, again, it's the whole kind of roommate thing. You're not connecting verbally. You're not connecting like with events and hanging out, and then you're not connecting physically. Those are all signs that really you're not where you should be in your relationship. And for women, they talk about that emotional needs are really important for us. We want to feel cared for. We want to feel secure. For men, it's those physical needs. And I think what we found for us and in our marriage is that the more he connects with me emotionally, the more I want to connect with him physically. The more I connect with him physically, the more he wants to connect with me emotionally.
In other words, if I touch her here in her heart, then she wants to touch me.
I totally thought you were going to just grope me.
I thought about it. But I'm saying, if I touch her in her heart, then she wants to touch me in my almost heart.
Gosh. But it's true. It's true. And the thing is if you wait for them to meet your need first, you might be waiting for a long time. You have to be willing to step out and meet their needs first.
Yeah, and so to touch base and to dive a little deeper into that, I think, for men, it's really tough, right? If your physical needs not being met, then and your wife refuses to do it for a year, then you start thinking, how am I going to get that need met? For women, and you hear this a lot at work, right? The work wife, the work husband, it's this emotional connection, and women can get an emotional connection from somebody else at work that fills that need that they have. And so if you have a work husband, a work wife, if that emotional connection's really being met by somebody else, that's a good sign that you're probably going to need marriage counseling.
So ultimately, if your needs aren't being met in your relationship, that's oftentimes where unfaithfulness happens, because you look elsewhere to find those needs, to find that satisfaction. And so we say, if you're not having sex, then something's wrong, right? But in the same token, if you're not connecting emotionally, something's wrong too. So if those emotional and physical connections aren't happening on a consistent basis, you got to work on it. And there have been seasons in our life when we weren't doing it very often, but we were connecting and we were doing it. We were doing it. But at the same time, like in those seasons when we were busy and we had babies and all these things, I would feel so detached. And so the more that we've been intentional about connecting physically, the closer that I felt to him. And actually, I want to recommend this app. It's called Ultimate Intimacy. It's an app that you can download on your phone. It's free, but if you pay for the upgrade, you get more stuff. But anyway, it's essentially a tool to help you grow in your intimacy, and it's kind of a game that you play, and
it's nice. It's very nice.
I highly recommend it if you're like, okay, but sex is just boring. It's always the same. Girls, if you're not enjoying it and he's just enjoying it, there are things that you can do if you just put your heads together and talk about it. It really is intended to be enjoyable for both parties, but you just got to put in the effort and the work, just like in every other aspect of your marriage, to get to know each other so you can meet those needs, and it's worth it. It is worth it.
Let me see you twerk it. Flip down and reverse it. No, I'm just kidding. But not really.
All right. Step 5, the 5th sign. I'm looking at my notes down here. I'm sorry.
You both need fresh perspective on a current situation.
Yeah. So maybe the argument, maybe it's not between you, that you're having issues, but maybe it's you and another issue and another circumstance. And as a couple, you're like, I just don't know what to do. So maybe as a couple, we're struggling with how to handle our middle school son. This is going on. I don't know how to handle it. Maybe it's something, I mean, honestly, guys, it could be something like, I caught my child masturbating. I don't know what to do. What are we supposed to do? Maybe it's financial struggles, and we've been trying to work on a budget, and we're struggling, and it's not working well, and we don't know what to do. Our son's not masturbating, by the way. We don't know what to do, and we don't know where to go from here. Maybe it's a relationship like a mother-in-law or a neighbor or a friendship that's unhealthy, and you don't know how to put up boundaries. Those are situations where, as a couple, if you can't figure out what to do, include somebody else into that situation that can help give you some fresh perspective and some clarity and some ideas on how to move forward.
No, that's really good. And I think it's easy to talk about steps, right? You get the 5 hacks. YouTube's all about the 5 hacks, the 5 quick steps to get it done. That's going to get it done tonight. Some wounds don't heal overnight.
It takes time.
FYI, It might take a couple of months.
Yeah.
It might take a year. True story. So I think it was 2008. Yeah, 2008. I'm in nursing school. We're in a very small, and when I mean small, I mean like small apartment. I believe we had 2 little babies and 1 on the way.
Yeah.
2 little babies and 1 on the way. I was taking 22 hours. I was working, and then I was going to a different school in a city 20 miles away at night. So I was gone 7 days a week, and I found myself struggling. And I was just like, I don't feel connected to my wife. I'm missing this. And I knew if I let it go on even one more day, I would do something stupid. And so I'm just being real with y'all right now. And so I called one of our pastors named Mickey, and I was like, I want to meet with you and your wife as soon as possible. And they met with us the very next day. And because I didn't know really how to bring it up, I was still pretty immature at that time. And so I sat down with them. They sat down with both of us and did these marriage personality profiles. And what kind of, are you... we went through the 5 love languages. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
And it fixed that rip really fast before it turned into something. And I'm really appreciative to Mickey taking the time to do that. But secondly, for my wife being willing to sit down with me, and she had her stuff too. So it usually turns out.
Yeah, let's meet, because I got some stuff I need to talk about too.
So usually it is. It's not just you. It's both. I mean, if you're feeling that way, then good chances are that relationship partner, spouse is feeling that way too. And so it's good to sit down and get that clarity. And here's the other thing. I think, we'll take so good care of our physical bodies, right? We'll go to our primary care physician and get our checkup and our colonoscopy or whatever it is that you got to get. The colonoscopy things when you get older and prostate. But, younger, you'll at least go once a year and you'll get a checkup. How am I doing? How's my blood pressure doing? How's my cholesterol doing? Why don't we do that with our relationships? I mean, seriously, do that with your relationships. Do a weekend together. We did a weekend together.
Yeah, let's talk about resources. So we're wearing our Matching Freedom shirts. Our church puts on all sorts of different events and studies and things. And so we did a study called Freedom, which just talked about, and he did it separately with a group of guys. I did it with a group of girls, that just talks about our background and our past and the things that affect the way that we see our everyday and that we see our future, and help sort of clear away things that aren't correct, aren't right perspectives, are harmful. Clears those things away so you can have a fresh perspective. And then we got together for this weekend thing to kind of close it all up, and it was so good. It was so, in fact, out of that weekend is where we really got the clarity to start doing YouTube videos. So being involved in a local church is a great way to get a lot of free resources, free counseling, there's parenting classes that churches will put on, marriage classes, financial classes. Dave Ramsey is something, the Financial Peace University, a lot of churches do that, but you could also buy that yourselves online and go through it as a couple.
Or there's Crown Financial. There's lots of great resources
a ton of resources through your local church. There's also, if you want to spend the money, you can go to a Christian counselor that's private. You could go to a therapist. If you don't want a Christian perspective necessarily, you can go to any kind of therapist. There's coaching. There's so many things out there right now.
There's
life coaching, individual coaching.
A ton of basically there's no excuses. There's help if you want it, and it's literally right around the block if you want it. And so I just want to encourage you with that, and just let you know that we've been there and we still do checkups. I mean, we all the time, like whether it's a marriage retreat or checking in with one of our friends who's a couple, to sit down to go, hey, we kind of have this disagreement right now, and I feel like I'm right, and and she feels like she's
wrong.
right. And so, we'll sit down with this couple that we love. Shout out to you, Adam. And
schedule on Wednesday.
Get some advice, and so it's just a good opportunity to always be checking in, just like you do a physical checkup. You do an emotional checkup with your spouse, and then you do that kind of spiritual checkup, and it's it's all about that. It's about those different kind of checkups to make sure that you're going in the direction that you want to go, that you're looking forward to being with your spouse, with your kids. Hey dudes, your kids being involved, right? So, you know, sometimes you need more than just marriage counseling. You know, you need family counseling. It's not a bad word. It ain't no bad word.
And you know, you mentioned the love languages. There's lots of great books and different things that you can do as a couple and individually to help get to know each other better. The Enneagram, y'all, if you haven't taken the Enneagram, do it. It's been so helpful for us to get to know each other and to understand why we think and process the way that we do. But there's lots of other ones, Myers-Briggs and the DISC profile.
Life languages.
But love language is a good one. So do some research and just invest the time, effort, and energy into getting to know each other on a deeper level, and take the time to work through your disagreements and get help. There's nothing wrong with finding somebody that will sit down with you and just help you work through conflict and issues or disagreements or whatever the struggle may be.
Yeah, think back to your life. When were you your happiest? You're dating and it's everything and it's so much fun and you're in love and you're wondering, can I get that? Can I get that again?
So cute, he left the toilet seat up. I love getting to pick up. You don't leave the toilet seat up, by the way. I'm just throwing out examples. He just pees on the toilet seat.
I try to wipe it up.
Or like, you know, he leaves his shoes on the floor. All those things, you know, it's cute at first and then it starts to wear on you. But it's like if you continue to pursue each other and keep the romance alive, those little things just aren't a big deal. Still.
We're going to make out tonight. I can feel it.
And we're going to use the Ultimate Intimacy app tonight.
So you're saying there's a chance.
All right, guys. That's it. That's all we've got for this video. Please feel free to go back and check out the other videos in our Conflict and Marriage series. And reach out to us if you have any questions.
And let us know what you want the next videos to be on.
Yeah. I think we're going to do some parenting videos coming up next, so stay tuned.
Yeah, it could change. We'll see.
We'll see.
I'm
Okay, bye.
sorry.